Greetings and salutations. Thank you for lending an ear to the voice of the times this Tuesday, October 26, 2021, for today's editorial, defending against another COVID wave. The United Kingdom and Russia are facing what could be new and massive COVID-19 surges, and this early, Philippine health authorities must keep a sharp eye out on how events in those countries unfold. British health experts are trying to determine if the new spurt in COVID-19 cases is being triggered by a new strain of the Delta variant, called Delta AY 4.2. There is evidence that this mutation spreads faster than the original variant, although it is still unclear if it could lead to more severe cases or is invisible to the present array of COVID vaccines. So far, more than 15,000 cases of AY 4.2 have been confirmed in Britain since it was first detected in July. That's 6% of the overall Delta cases confirmed. Britain has more than 50,000 COVID-19 cases, the second highest rate in the world behind the United States. Russia is battling a resurgence of infections, with new cases racing past 30,000, and deaths at a record high of 1,015. In Moscow, stringent restrictions have been imposed, with unvaccinated senior citizens told to stay home for 4 months, starting October 25. President Vladimir Putin has also been asked to declare October 30 to November 7 as non-working days nationwide to prevent crowds from assembling and giving the virus the chance to spread further. Despite having an ample supply of vaccines and being the first to roll out a COVID-19 vaccine, Russia's inoculation program is way below target for herd immunity, with just over 45% of the population having been jabbed. This makes about 51 million people vulnerable to infection. The coronavirus resurgence in the two countries comes at a time when the Philippines is well on the path to reviving the economy. The government is confident that the virus has been limited to a few areas and has ruled out another nationwide outbreak. The prospects are bright that this situation will improve further by Christmas. But let us not forget that about this time last year, we were eagerly looking at 2021 as the year that we would beat the pandemic. Doubts began to erode that enthusiasm in January, when the Department of Health confirmed the country's first case of the UK variant, a 29-year-old resident of Quezon City who flew in from Dubai early that month. A few days later, UK variant cases turned up as far north as Kalinga. Health officials were amazed at how quickly the variant had spread. In just weeks, it had almost the entire country in its grip. The infections waned to manageable levels after a series of long, hard lockdowns. Just when we thought we had survived the worst, the Delta variant came surging in and would have continued to rampage had its advance not been arrested by the massive immunization drive that began in March. Now that the threat from AY 4.2 looms, we hope the government has learned enough from its battles with the UK and Delta variants to come up with a better defense strategy. For one, it needs to review its porous border control system, which allowed the virus to sneak in. Travel restrictions were imposed only after the UK and Delta variants had already reached our shores. Testing and quarantining procedures must also be consistent and not subject to abrupt and confusing modifications. The new policy of practically waving through travelers from green countries, those considered as low risk for COVID-19, definitely has to be re-evaluated in the wake of the new outbreaks in Britain and Russia. Those two countries are not in the green list, but there is no telling if travelers from those places had spent time in a listed country before flying on to the Philippines. The health department should also have enough information about AY 4.2 to find out if the vaccines in use in the country are effective against it. Just in case, it has to stock up on more potent upgrades. The threat may be remote, but we can't take any chances. We were wrong-footed twice before. We can't afford a third time. And that's the editorial for Tuesday, October 26, 2021. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print, subscribe to our digital edition, or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and listen to The Voice of the Times.